guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something really special for you guys. I found this visual of Kristen Stewart on the new Chanel ads. She had this one particular look with really fierce kind of dark eyeliner and really light eyeshadow, and I really wanted to do that look for you guys. She has such beautiful light colored eyes, so of course I had to go a little bit lighter with my eyes as well. I actually managed to get my hands on a list of all the products that were used on her in this look, so I am using most of those products here today. I really hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial, and if you want to find out how to get this Kristen Stewart Chanel inspired look, then please keep on watching. So Kristen Stewart has the most beautiful gray slate eyes, and I wanted to kind of imitate that because that's going to make the eyeliner really pop. So I popped in a couple of blue contacts. Now next I'm going to move on to a primer. I'm just going to apply that all over my skin. Now I'm going to grab one of my favorite foundations. This is the Chanel Perfection Lumiere foundation. I am in the color 20. Chanel is one of my favorite brands for foundations. If anybody asks me for recommendations on foundation, I usually recommend Chanel. I had such a thing for their Pro Lumiere back when they were producing them. I even went out and bought it back up when they announced that they were discontinuing it. Now I'm going to grab a concealer for the under eyes. You can find links to everything that I'm using down in the description box. I'm going to use this to conceal and highlight the under eyes, my forehead, the center of my chin, and down the center of my nose as well. Then I'm just going to use a concealer that's closer to my skin tone to conceal any areas that need concealing. And I have a lot of those today. Just going to blend that out with the tip of my beauty blender. I am heading out for a bunch of meetings today, so I want my makeup to last the entire day without need for touch-ups. So I'm going to go in with this matte Lumiere Compact Foundation. And nowadays I'm really liking using a highlighter brush because it gets to the really small spaces on the skin and it's really soft, so it's not going to disturb any of the concealing that you did either. Now the Pro Lumiere is a pretty matte foundation as is, though it does give you a nice glowy finish. It is slightly more matte and more oil controlling, but I've got really oily skin and we live in Malaysia, so I'm just going to bring everything down a notch, and by midday my oiliness is going to show through a little bit anyway. It's going to give the foundation a really nice glow. Another thing I like is that this is a foundation powder, so it's going to give you extra coverage. For my brows, I'm going to be using two different products. The first product is this brow powder duo from Chanel. It comes with the entire set of a brow brush, a spoolie, as well as a little tweezer as well. The whole set is super convenient if you want to take it on vacation because you can do your brows on the go. The tweezers are really soft and rounded, so they're not going to poke and irritate your skin. And the spoolie and everything, they're just really nice to use. Now, I have mentioned this brow powder on Snapchat, and I did say that it doesn't really suit my brows because it's not very pigmented. I would definitely recommend this for those of you who already have a lot of brow hairs. Unfortunately, I am not one of those people, so I really like to use this product to kind of fill in my brows and map out a rough shape first. Also, this powder is really great for feathering in the front of your brows because it's going to give you a really nice soft finish, which is definitely what you want at the front of the brows. Now that I've got my rough brow shape mapped out, I'm going to move in with a brow pencil and feather in tiny little brow hairs. Alright, now time to move on to the fun part. I managed to get my hands on a list of all the products that Kristen Stewart was using in that look, and the first product I'm going to be using is the Chanel Bronze Platine eyeshadow. This is an eyeshadow stick and it comes in such a lovely kind of platinum, grayish. I don't know how to describe this color. It's just really pretty. I love the effect that it gives the eyes. And it looks so good. Just look at that. Oh my gosh, what a pretty color. So I'm just gonna apply that as a base to my eyes. This is going to help the eyeshadows stick as well as give them a really lovely kind of creamy effect. I don't know why I did that. Also going to take it underneath the eyes. Now be very careful when you're doing this because whatever is in this product, it does not like getting inside your eyes. It will hurt. And then just softly blending that out as well. Alright, I moved up a little closer so you guys can get a better idea of what I'm doing with the eyes. Oh my gosh, I love this eyeshadow color. Alright, I'm going to move on to the eyeshadow powders now. I'm going to go in with this beautiful palette right here. I am going to butcher the name, but it says Tissé Dimensions. And the first color I'm going to be using is this beautiful silver right here. I'm just going to place that all over the lid, taking it all the way up to the crease. I'm also going to blend it slightly as I go at the upper crease area, just so there are no harsh lines and I don't have to go back in and re-blend with a different brush. Next I'm going to go in with this beautiful dark purple color over here, and that's going to be in a little halo in the outer C of the eye, as well as blend it slightly into the lash line. This is going to be really, really light. We don't want to use a heavy hand with this. It's only meant to be kind of an accent more than a different color. So it's just going to give our eyes a little bit more dimension. With whatever you have that's left over on the brush, just drag it inside into the crease, just for a little added dimension on the eyes. Okay, now moving on to the lower lash line as well. We're gonna just blend it in. Moving on to the eyeliner, I am using this Chanel Long Lasting Eyeliner. This is in the color Espresso. And what's interesting about this eyeliner is that it's really, really defined right at the lash line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this eyeliner first. And now I'm going to blend this out with a really tiny pencil brush. And we don't want it to be too smoky, which is why I'm using such a small brush, so that there's not much distribution. And then once that's done, I'm gonna actually go back in with a black version of that eyeliner. And I'm really gonna line my eyes all the way through with this one. Alright, this part is a little bit difficult on people with hooded eyes, which I have. If you can see, the fold of my eye covers the tip of my eyes. So that means that I can't get a straight line all the way from the tip of my eyes to the end, which means I'm gonna have to fake this tip right here and make it look as if it's connected to my upper lid. Keep your eyes open when you're doing it if you've got hooded eyelid, just so you can make sure that everything kind of connects. Now I know Kristen Stewart doesn't have a wing in this eyeliner look that she wears, but she does have pretty cat-like eyes as is, whereas mine are pretty round and droop a little at the outer end. So I'm going to create that cat eye shape by putting in a little flick. Now lashes are a huge addition to this look, so I'm going to be adding a really nice kind of natural pair of falsies, and then I'm going to put on some mascara. Alright guys, I've got my natural pair of falsies on and I gave them a nice good curl. You definitely want to curl your lashes really, really nicely when it comes to this look. And now I'm going to move on to some mascara. This is really important because it kind of makes or breaks the whole look, aside from the eyeliner of course. I'm going to go in with this Chanel mascara. It is called the Dimensions de Chanel mascara. I hope I didn't butcher the title. Just make sure that you wiggle it right up in there on both the upper and lower lash lines. So the eyes are done, and now I'm going to add in a little bit of dimension to the face with my Soleil Tan de Chanel. Now I know you're not meant to actually put cream onto powder, which is what I'm doing right now. If you guys are afraid you might not be able to blend it out, you can definitely do this before you apply the powder. I'm just going to use a really light hand to add some dimension to my face, so it should be blended out really nicely since I'm not using too much. You can see immediately so much more dimension and warmth in the face, which is exactly what we're going for here. And then I'm going to go in with one of my favorite Chanel blushes. This is the Tweed Effect Duo in Tweed Rose. Gorgeous rosy color that just brings so much life to your cheeks. I'm going to use that directly above where I apply the Soleil Tan. Finally, I'm going to move on to the lips. The first thing I'm going to do is nude out the lips a little bit just with whatever concealer is left over on my beauty blender. Now in the visual, Kristen is wearing something really nude on her lips, almost no color even. So what I'm going to do is, once I've done that whiting out with the concealer, I'm going to go in with a glossomer. This is in the color number 148. And just add only the tiniest tint of color. I'm almost done. I'm just going to finish off with the highlighter. This is from one of their previous collections and I think it's really pretty. Just on the tops of the cheeks. And there you have it, guys. This is the finished Kristen Stewart Chanel inspired makeup look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this look. If you have any questions or comments about the look or the products that I used at all, just leave them in the comments box below and I will get to them as soon as possible. If you'd like to see more of me, you can find me on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. That is all listed in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching and I really hope I see you in my next video. Bye! Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now as you guys know, I've launched a series on my YouTube channel called Road Test, where basically I road test a product.